I do a lot of relocation sales, and a lot of my buyers are looking at properties on their computers and on their phones from far away, and they're not necessarily that familiar with the area. And what I usually tell them is that their secret weapon in this process of purchasing a home from out of state or from an area far away, that secret weapon is your little yellow Google Street icon guy. The Google Street View really can tell you so much that you might otherwise miss. So, especially in our area in Pennsylvania, right outside of Philadelphia on the main line, we have a lot of streets that don't have sidewalks and don't have shoulders and that aren't necessarily in the kind of neighborhood where you wouldn't even need to think about that. So, for people who want to be able to push a baby stroller or jog or walk a dog, deciding whether that's possible on a street is almost impossible if you don't look at the Google Street View. So that's one really important piece of information you can get. You can also just get an idea of what the neighborhood feels like. You can see what the other homes look like, what the cars look like. Oftentimes, people will pull up to a house that they have seen online and they're surprised because either there's an office building right across the street or a water tower that they can see. A lot of electrical lines, and they say, oh, I didn't see that in the pictures, I'm not interested, and they've wasted a trip. Similarly, we live in a somewhat hilly area. A lot of times, photographers don't want to emphasize that because people don't necessarily want to live at the top of a hill or down in a trough. And again, I've had many buyers be unpleasantly surprised when they pull up to a house and say, oh, I had no idea it was way up on the hill or down in this valley. So you can also get a sense of what the hills and valleys look like on a street from the Google Street View. Also, think about parking. There's certain streets that, like these ones that you probably won't be able to jog on or push a stroller on. A lot of times you can't park on those streets. So you won't necessarily know that unless you look at this Google Street View, and you will probably get a very good idea from that. So if you are purchasing a home and you're not particularly familiar with the area or the streets, do yourself a favor when you're looking at the listing. If you are otherwise interested in the property, it looks like it might really be a contender, do yourself a favor, and before you get too excited or emotionally invested, look at that Google Street View. Take a walk up and down the street. Make sure to do the 360 view, and you'll have a much clearer sense of what the street and the neighborhood is like.